I started dancing when I was 4 years old at my cousin's dance studio called Jazz Rock Ballet. Not only was I fortunate enough to dance there for free, but my sister also danced there, so I was able to see how much fun she had, and I envied that, and I just wanted to be a part of it. And not only did I start dance because of that reason, but my grandmother was also a dancer when she was younger, and my cousin owned the dance studio, so obviously I wanted to be part of the family tradition.
And I started dancing at Tony Grant's. And I danced in a group. We were called the Austinettes. We did tap, mostly tap, and some toe. I danced on the Steel Pier, the Tony Grant Stars of Tomorrow.
I believe that I took dance very seriously because I had my family members were very successful, and I just wanted to be like them, so that's why I danced for 11 years. After ballet class on a Wednesday afternoon, my cousin came in and told our whole dance class that she was closing the studio for good and we would no longer be dancing there. Finding a new dance studio was very hard and frustrating because we would walk into places and all we were looking for was that home feeling, and we wouldn't get it anywhere. After searching long and hard, a new dance studio finally felt like home, Pro Dance. And our whole class from Jazz Rock was fortunate enough to stay together.
So when Hannah found Pro Dance Studio, it was a completely different experience. First of all, right away when the girls walked into the studio, they felt at home. The space was big enough and comfortable and very similar to what they were used to. But the style of dance was completely different. At Pro Dance, girls that wanted to compete, they were able to go to dance competitions. Girls that were there just to learn technique were able to work on their technique.
Pro Dance gave me a whole new experience because not only was I able to stay with my class from my old studio, we started taking classes that we had never taken before, like contemporary and tumbling and acrobats. I believe this was the turning point in my life, and it changed things forever for me. Nothing would ever go back to normal.
Hannah's injury, she was, she went from dancing, she was taking 9 dance classes a week. She was dancing all the time. And then she got injured, and it was, everything stopped. Everything just came to a halt, and we had to refocus everything. And
as the rest of her class progressed, Hannah had to focus on just rehabbing her arm and getting better. So as they were progressing, she wasn't where they were at.
And it was so hard for her to, when she finally did heal, it was impossible for her to jump in because everybody was so far beyond where she was.
So I broke my elbow during a tumbling class, and we really didn't think it was going to be that bad until we went to the doctors and realized how serious it was.
When the doctor took off the wraps in his office for the first time, when we went back to the doctor after Hannah had been injured, it was wrapped for a while and she was getting the splint. When they took off the wraps, the bruising took my breath away. It was purple and just looked so much worse than I even anticipated it would be.
2 years after my injury, I still was not healed, and we figured out that I needed surgery, and I had to go to Philly for it, and thankfully the doctors were amazing. So even though my range of motion eventually did return fully, during the whole process, I did try to continue dance with my arm bent, and it really was hard for me. I became very insecure. My technique, I just fell behind my other classmates because I was so focused on my elbow. So, I eventually quit.
When Hannah told us that she was quitting dance, I couldn't believe it. It was like we were
devastated.
So even though I quit dance outside of school, I was fortunate enough to keep dancing inside of school. And it wasn't as serious, but it was so much fun. And it really got the point across to me that I can have a passion and I don't have to be serious about it and have it be consuming my life. all your passion should be is fun. You should purely be having fun and enjoying whatever you're doing.